So we finished our Friday prep. Obviously, we'll travel here, and then we'll get in tonight, meet in the morning, walk through that kind of, final reminders, and then get ready to go. Any questions?
In terms of a characteristic of your team, what gives you the most confidence that they're ready for this moment?
I would only say past experience. History. Look, there's several things that even in last year's regular season. Take any of our games we've played this year. The momentum pendulum is going to swing back and forth. But I think the exposure and the experience of these past 17 weeks.
Coach, you had 5 guys named All-Pros today.
Yeah.
Since 1996 for this team. How much does that mean? And you think all those guys deserving?
Outstanding. Look, and the Pro Bowl is one thing. I get it. A lot of different people vote. This All-Pro and anybody who votes on, for instance, the Hall of Fame. Remember, that's one team, AFC, NFC. And so, man, it's a tremendous honor for those guys. And I'm proud of all of them. Our team was excited for all of them. And, much deserved.
You guys obviously indoors today. Is that about the surface?
Surface, yeah. I mean, we've had good outside practices. And for us, just getting on the field turf and moving around. But it was good.
Sean Payton might take the quarterback sneak for granted, but there's obviously a lot that goes into it. What have you guys done well there to have that become?
I think, look, all right, the long end of it, there's certain type of fronts you get that maybe are more conducive to that. And so oftentimes it's this play or a sneak, sometimes you get the heavy gaps, and then if you just said, hey, if they're all inside, run outside. And then there's sometimes where you just go to the ball. And so believe it or not, we'd spend an hour on figuring out the formation for our sneak. Because, look, Quinn does a good job, right? And so Bo's first one early on, he went in a certain direction, and I said, look, there's this right guard that's getting paid a lot of, but defensively there's certain things that they can do. So each week there'll be different ways to look at it. Is it a yard or is it a yard and a half? All of those things, and then the complementary plays also from the gun or under center. But yeah, you want to be, obviously you want to be good in short yardage situations, and so sometimes by going right to the ball, you can lock into a personnel group. Now they can still jump into gaps. In Vegas, we went right to the ball on a 3rd and 1, and then we knew and then we threw it. And when they're in the gaps, it's hard to rush the passer. So, there's the quarterback sneak.
With Jaleel, what's he giving you? I mean, he's obviously started for you the last 2 games here on the stretch.
Yeah, there's juice, there's vision, there's he's played good football, and there's been a spark. So he's doing well. He's doing well. He's got good contact balance for his size.
You talked before about the year off where you missed being in it, the playoffs in particular. How much is that?
Just all of it. When you're in it, and I'm not even talking about the playoffs, and the season begins every hour. As soon as I finish here, like everything matters. And there's so many things that it's amazing. It seemed like yesterday we were starting the season. And so the weeks fly by, but the details, everything matters. And then all of a sudden, when you're away from it, man, there's that void of, there are a few things that matter once, that, and so, look, there's nothing like it. It's enjoyable. I think think working with young people, they seem younger now, but working with young people keeps you young and keeps you energized. And working, with a family, we're around these guys 24/7. Last night 2 a.m. with the coaches, on offense. So it's just, it's exciting to be still playing.
When you have a young group and a bunch of these guys haven't, played in the past, do you pay the extra attention, whether it's on Sunday or before, about demeanor, or is that trust now?
No, I think, look, listen, last week was a big game, to get, in other words, you got to get your experience, and here's the most important thing: get on to the next play. In other words, don't let one play fester. Get on to the next play. Get on to the next play, and so recalibrate and have the mental fortitude to handle the noise and handle the elements and handle all the things about, playing a real good team on the road. And, yeah, it's a great challenge.
Subscribe to the theory, when you call plays about limiting possession, do you think of the quarterback or the other offense?
Yeah, it's interesting because it can go two ways. I remember once I was in Dallas, and we were getting ready to play. At that time, the Chiefs had Trent Green, and, they had Gonzalez. They had the number one offense in football. They had a returner, a bunch of guys that could run. And they were scoring 30, 28 points a game. And so as a coaching staff, we met on Wednesday, and I'll never forget, said, boys, we're going to do the opposite of what you think. He said, now we're going to throw caution into the wind, and there's risk with this, but we're going to outscore them. And our jaws dropped. In other words, I don't know what we were scoring, but it wasn't. And sure enough, this thing got into a shootout, and we hit Dan Campbell on a pop pass with 38 seconds left in the game. They had a chance at a field goal in the rain, but it was a high-scoring game. So I think as a play caller, what I do pay attention to is how is this game unfolding? How's it unfolding? How are we playing defensively can impact how I'm calling the game on offense. And then conversely, communicate with Van. In other words, we've played games this year I thought would have gone a certain way, and then, holy cow, they went a different way. And so I think you got to pay attention to how it's unfolding.
When do you realize that, when a game is unfolding differently than you were hoping or thinking?
Well, it's each series, yeah, I mean, you're paying attention to what's going on. You score on a 90-yard touchdown, and Judy scores the next play. I'm like, this game's unfolding differently than I expected.
One thing Bo said this week was the closeness of the team, something they felt like they had early on here. So how do you get to a point now with a really young team and kind of reeling it in, especially in a big playoff night like this?
Reeling us being,
In a sense of tuning out outside noise expectations.
well, I think you said two things. I think this is a close-knit team. And so, you go on the road, and, I always say if you don't recognize them, they're not for us. Forget the hat they're wearing or and so, yeah, I think that's built through these moments and experiences and respect for each other. And it's built because there's been a journey. It hadn't been easy. It's built, week by week. And then when you start playing for each other, then you got something. Not wanting to let, your teammate down.